Hey guys, Ronan Reaper here, just back with a quick little movie review. So, I just got done watching Strange World on Disney Plus. You've more than likely heard by now, this is the Disney film that you more likely haven't seen and haven't heard of because the marketing for this was atrocious and that it was basically non existent. The whole reason I was even aware of this film was because, I actively try to stay in the loop when it comes to upcoming films. But man, they did so little. They did less than the bare minimum in marketing this, and obviously, it kind of shows in box office figures. But is the film actually as it, absent as its marketing campaign? Let's find out. So the film centers on Searcher Clade, who is a member of the legendary Clade family, or a family of explorers. Searcher is a farmer whose father, the legendary explorer Jaeger Clade, abandoned him many years ago. Then one day, Searcher is given an opportunity by Callisto Mal, the leader of Avalonia, where he lives, to journey to an unknown world and discover what's been infecting Avalonia's miracle crop, Pando. So, as I said, this film's had an atrocious, non existent marketing campaign, which is even weirder because Jake Gyllenhaal's in this, but honestly, the film, I mean, I have seen way, way worse films that were basically just sent out to die. This honestly wasn't even that bad. Trust me, I do have issues, but for the most part, it was a fairly entertaining sort of family friendly homage to 1950s science fiction adventure serials, and to its credit, it takes that central concept and sort of runs with it. Like the actual animation, like the actual design for the world, looks really, really good. Like it's incredibly vibrant and colorful, and at some points it actually utilizes a bit of bioluminescent color, coming on like a PG rated version of Avatar. And it's got these like sort of fun, wacky creature designs. There are these little balls, which well, I say little balls, they're quite big, and they expand out to reveal to reveal tentacles. And at one point, these like big dinosaur-looking things, which spread crops about. At one point, there's a literal walking mountain mass. The most notable creature, I'd say, is obviously Splat. There's like a little ball of goo with arms and legs who tags along with the characters, and he is kind of funny, and his design he's sort of cute and funny, and his design's certainly colourful and fun. And of course, there's an Evil Red version. Very subtle film, very subtle. In regards to the animation, though, the character design is kind of where it lets itself down a bit because it's that sort of quite homogenized Disney character design, and the once again they sort of go for that photorealist but not look. Considering how colourful and vibrant the whole world around them is, they drop the ball massively in regards to the character design. Although it makes up for that with some kind of fun stylistic flourishes, like there's some fun little comic book moments, and it utilizes some like little sweep transitions, not too dissimilar to Star Wars, which itself was ironically a film inspired by the serials of that era. you know, narratively, it's kind of not that interesting in comparison. Like, don't get me wrong, it's entertaining to watch it unfold. Like, the characters are certainly very likable, and there are and there are certainly plenty of moments of humor. I wouldn't say it's a constant. I wouldn't say it's like particularly belly laugh inducing, but there's a certainly healthy amount of fairly hearty chuckles that you'll get from this. But yeah, the actual narrative itself is fairly predictable. Like, there's a whole like subplot about Searcher and Jaeger sort of quite bitter with each other after their 25 years of absence, and sort of bonding and reuniting. You probably tell where that goes, and but some, some like sort of character moments kind of come rather quickly as well. Like like for instance, Searcher and Jaeger sort of bond kind of quickly, and then they sort of like drop the whole feud until like later on in the film. The whole cliche like arguing split up thing. It's in like every kids movie ever, and there's even some fairly cliche moments like the heartfelt moment interrupted by a major plot revelation. We'll get to that plot revelation later. And there's at one point the film also tries to have a villain. It goes nowhere and doesn't amount to much. Yeah, that being said, though, the film does have some surprises up its sleeve. I mentioned that there's a moment with a heartfelt apology interrupted by a big plot revelation. The big plot revelation here is very surprising, and it leads to a surprising turn in the final act that, to its credit, works very well. Well, the positive that is to say about the film. The voice acting is pretty decent all around. Jake Gyllenhaal is very likable as Searcher Clade. He embodies the sort of awkward dad thing quite well, and also sort of perfectly sells his bitterness and relationship with his father, and also his desperation, to create a legacy that his son will carry on. Dennis Quaid as Jaeger Clade is also pretty good. He has this sort of fun, like gruff machismo about him. He's certainly a very entertaining presence. Now, there's something else I want to talk about in regards to this film, and that's its representation. A lot has been made about this, particularly in regards to the character Ethan, who is shown to be, romantically interested in a boy. Yeah, it's not subtle. They do expressly mention it, but it does sort of like barely like it seems to barely come up. Like every once in a while, it'll just mention, oh yeah, this character's gay, but that being said, the animation does sort of help in that some of Ethan's mannerisms are kind of quite camp and effeminate, so you do kind of buy into it anyway. So also the film at the center of it has a mixed race couple and a three-legged dog, a bit of disabled representation. The dog is like the best character in the film. It's by you know virtue of it being a dog, and it does have some funny moments as well. Being a dog, and the soundtrack is pretty decent. Like, I was kind of surprised to learn it's by Henry Jackman. Like, this isn't his like strongest work. It's not his weakest. It's fine. It does its job. That being said, though, the highlight of the soundtrack is a fun little theme song about the Clade family. That did get a few little chuckles out of me. But yeah, Strange World. It's entertaining. It's an entertaining homage to 50s sci-fi adventure serials with likable characters, decent voice acting, a fine score, and really fun world design. But it's kind of let down by a fairly predictable plot and that sort of homogenized Disney character design, as well as a sort of hit or miss approach to its representation. But you could do a lot worse. I mean, I don't think this quite deserved to be sent out to die like it did. But I don't think this is gonna leave much of a lasting impact on me. Overall, I'm gonna give Strange World a 6.5 out of 10. Let me know down in the comments. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? What do you make of its representation? And what do you think of the marketing? Do you think it deserved to be sent out to die? Let me know all down in the comments. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave the subscribe button if you're new, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.